electrochemical cell. Now, let us discuss about the construction and working of a simple electrochemical cell. This is the diagram of electrochemical cell. Now, let us read its construction. Zinc sulfate solution is taken in a beaker and zinc rod is dipped into it. Similarly, copper sulfate solution is taken in another beaker and copper strip is dipped into it. So, here you can see two beakers. In the first beaker, there is zinc rod which is dipped in zinc sulfate solution, and in the second beaker, copper rod is there which is dipped in copper sulfate solution. An inverted U-shaped tube containing solution of inert electrolyte such as KCl, KNO3 connects the two solutions. So, here you can also see an inverted U-shaped tube which is written as salt bridge, and it connects the two solutions, and the two rods, that is zinc and copper rod, these are connected to each other by external wires through a voltmeter which will detect current. So, this is the construction of electrochemical cell. Now, what is observed after some time in this cell? In the first step, zinc rod loses its weight while that of copper rod acquires weight. Here in the two beakers, that is in the first beaker, zinc rod will lose its weight, and in the second beaker there is copper rod which will gain weight. So, this will be observed during first observation. In the second observation, the concentration of zinc sulfate solution increases while that of copper sulfate solution decreases. So, the concentration of zinc sulfate solution in the first beaker increases while that of copper sulfate solution in the second beaker decreases. There is a flow of electric current through the external circuit. That means, through these external wires, current will flow after some time, and the two solutions in the beakers remain electrically neutral. Now, let us explain these observations. In the first observation, zinc loses its weight because it is oxidized to zinc ions which go into solution during the reaction. So, zinc is undergoing oxidation and losing 2 electrons, that is why it will lose its weight. The electrons released at zinc move towards copper through wires where these are accepted by copper ions of the copper sulfate solution. So, in the second step, copper ions which come from copper sulfate solution, they will gain these 2 electrons and change into copper solid. That is why the weight of copper rod increases, because this copper formed will deposit on the copper rod. The overall reaction can be written again as we have written in case of direct redox reactions, and this is the same reaction. Thus, the direction of flow of electrons is from zinc to copper. Here you can also see in this diagram that electrons are flowing from zinc side to copper side, and the direction of conventional current will be reverse, that is, it will be from copper to zinc. So, that is why current will flow. The electrode where oxidation occurs is called anode, and the electrode where reduction occurs is called cathode. In case of electrochemical cell, anode constitutes negative terminal and cathode constitutes positive terminal. So, in case of electrochemical cells, oxidation is occurring at anode and reduction is occurring at cathode, and anode is the negative terminal and cathode is the positive terminal, as shown in this diagram, that zinc is acting as anode and it is made negative terminal and cathode is made positive, which is the copper electrode. So, this is all about the indirect redox reaction. Next is about half cells and half cell reactions. The two vessels of indirect redox reactions are called two half cells, and the corresponding reactions occurring are called half cell reactions. That means, as we have seen that indirect redox reaction contains two vessels. In these two vessels, oxidation and reduction are taking place indirectly, and these two different beakers are known as two half cells, and the reactions taking place in the corresponding beakers are called half cell reactions. The half cell in which oxidation is taking place is called half cell, oxidation half cell, and the reaction occurring is called oxidation half reaction. As in case of electrochemical cell, here zinc side oxidation is taking place. So, this is oxidation half cell and the reaction shown below this beaker is known as oxidation half reaction. Similarly, second beaker in which reduction is taking place is called reduction half cell and the corresponding reaction taking place is called reduction half reaction. So, this is about half cells and half cell reactions. Now, what is salt bridge and its functions? An inverter U tube which contains solution of inert electrolytes such as KCl, KNO3 and it connects the two solutions. This tube is known as salt bridge. The two openings of U tube are plugged with porous materials like glass wool or cotton. So, it is that tube which connects these two solutions, that is zinc sulfate and copper sulfate solution, and it is filled with inert electrolyte like KCl, KNO3 etc., but at a time only one solution or one electrolyte will be there and its ends are plugged with glass wool or cotton. Now, what are the functions of salt bridge? It plays very important functions. First, it completes the circuit. As we have seen in case of electrochemical cell, that it connects the two solutions and two rods are connected by wires. So, it completes the circuit and it maintains electrical neutrality of two solutions. Now, let us see that how it maintains electrical neutrality. As we know that zinc rod loses zinc ions which move into zinc sulfate solution. So, the concentration of zinc ion increases in this solution, due to which this half cell acquires overall positive charge and oxidation stops. That means, after oxidation more and more zinc ions are coming down to zinc sulfate solution. After this beaker will attain overall positive charge and due to this oxidation reaction will stop. Similarly, in the second beaker, due to decrease in concentration of copper ions, accumulation of sulfate ions will occur, due to which this half cell acquires overall negative charge. and the process of reduction stops. In the reduction half cell, what is going on? That concentration of copper ions is decreasing because more and more copper ions are changing into solid copper. So, there will remain only negative sulfate ions, which will make this beaker overall negative, and the process of reduction stops. No oxidation, no reduction means cell will stop its working. So, now starts the function of salt bridge. To neutralize excess zinc ions, an equivalent number of chloride ions from salt bridge move into zinc sulfate solution. Let us see again this electrochemical cell, that how it maintains electrical neutrality. In the first beaker, you can see that there will be overall positive charge due to zinc ions, and this overall positive charge is neutralized by chloride ions. These chloride ions come from salt bridge from its electrolyte KCl. So, these chloride ions will neutralize excess positive charge. Similarly, in the second half cell, that is reduction half cell, due to sulfate ions there is overall negative charge, and to balance this negative charge, potassium ions will come down. As you can see in this diagram that some potassium ions are coming out of salt bridge, which will neutralize excess negative charge. Now, oxidation and reduction will start and cell will start its working. So, this is the function of salt bridge. So, this is all about my lecture. Now, let us revise that what we have done in this presentation. First of all, we studied about two concepts of oxidation and reduction, that is classical and electronic concept. I defined oxidation according to classical concept, oxidizing agent, what is reduction and reducing agent. Then we discussed about electronic concept of oxidation and reduction along with examples. Then we studied that how oxidation and reduction are complementary, and I explained this point by taking an example. Then what are redox reactions and their types, and we studied about direct redox reactions along with example of zinc rod dipped in copper sulfate solution. So, what observations are observed, then explanation to all these 5 observations. Then we studied that what are indirect redox reactions, their observations and explanation. Then I told you about half cells and half cell reactions, that what are half cells and half cell reactions. In this we studied about oxidation half cell and reduction half cell. In the last topic we studied about salt bridge, that what is salt bridge and its two functions, that how it completes the circuit and how it maintains electrical neutrality of two solutions. So, because cell will stop its working after some time, salt bridge will start its working again. So, this is explained to you, and this is all about my lecture. Thank you.